your window to the world's history. Share your favorite historical fact or story in the comments and subscribe the channel. 100,000 Iranian women march against the hijab law. Tehran, 1979. Anne Frank's father Otto, revisiting the attic where they hid from the Nazis. He was the only surviving family member. Ruby Bridges, the first African American to attend a white elementary school in the Deep South, 1960. A former slave named Gordon shows his whipping scars. Baton Rouge, Louisiana, 1863. Following a 23-hour, successful heart transplant, Dr. Religa keeps an eye on his patient's vital signs. In the corner, his assistant is sleeping, 1987. Reporters who exposed the Watergate scandal watch President Nixon resign, 1974. While cleaning up from the World Trade Center's falling, crews found a shipwreck 7 feet below the foundation that dated back to 1773. A blind Muslim named Muhammad carrying his best friend, a paralyzed Christian who suffers from dwarfism, named Samir, Damascus, Ottoman Syria, 1889. A man browsing for books in Cincinnati's cavernous Old Main Library. The library was demolished in 1955. Allied soldiers mock Hitler atop his balcony at the Reich Chancellery, 1945. Greenpeace tries to stop radioactive waste from being dumped in the ocean, 1982. A true friend, taken in a New York bus terminal just before they left for the worsening situation in the Pacific, 1941. A.S. Marine gives a cigarette to a Japanese soldier buried in the sand. Iwo Jima, 1945. An undercover police officer apprehends a mugger on the New York subway, 1985. Photo by Bruce Davidson. The rarely seen back of the Hoover Dam before it was filled with water, 1936. Former beauty queen, Miss Wyoming winner Joyce McKinney, being arrested by police. Women in bathing suits posing with a prize bull, Vancouver, 1927. E. Lillian Todd, self-taught inventor considered to be the first woman in the world to design and build her own aircraft, 1909. The Swedish warship Vasa sank in 1628, less than a mile into its maiden voyage, and was recovered from the sea floor after 333 years, almost completely intact. King Arthur's statue overlooking the Atlantic Ocean on the cliffs of Tintagel in Cornwall, England. The Face of War by Salvador Dali in 1941. Dali had spent the years 1936 to 1939 in Paris, throughout the Spanish Civil War. During the beginning of the Second World War, 1940, Dali fled to California with his wife, due to the fall of France, in which Germany had invaded and captured France. Jacques Cousteau and his crew relax in a submersible after work during the Conshelf 2 expedition, 1963. Bjork by Laura Levine in 1991. Croatians Ira and Marijan kiss near the end of the Croatian War of Independence in 1995. Nancy Sinatra pictured with her father Frank and family friend Yul Brynner at the Sands Hotel in Las Vegas, 1965. Kharkiv school graduate in her graduation dress on the rubble of her school destroyed by the Russian artillery. Making the Titanic's anchor chain at Hingley & Sons, 1909. World's largest log cabin, Portland, Oregon, 1938. Built in 1905, burned down in 1964. Maintenance worker painting the Sydney Harbour Bridge, Australia, 1945. Born into slavery on a Maryland plantation, Harriet Tubman. Far left in this image taken with family and friends, Sebe 1885. Escaped bondage in 1849 via the Underground Railroad. Pictured here are several members of the National Woman Suffrage Association, NWSA, in 1896, including Susan B. Anthony and Elizabeth Cady Stanton. While its contributions to gender equality in the U.S. were significant, the politics of the NWSA were far from perfect. It fought exclusively for the voting rights of white women at a time when neither black men nor women could vote. Aged just 17, Elizabeth Betty Robinson, pictured second from the left, from Illinois made history when she became the first female Olympic gold medalist in a track and field event. Unaware of her talent until a teacher saw her running for a train a year prior, Robinson had to join the boys' track team at her school due to the lack of opportunities for girls at the time.